Mariel Ramirez, welcome to the Tick Boot Camp podcast.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah, it's really nice to have you here. So what brings you to the ILADS conference?
Well, actually, I'm a patient. I'm from Mexico, and I've been treated for 1 year with antibiotics, and I came here to learn more because I work for a tech company. I'm a digital product designer, which means that I create apps and websites based on artificial intelligence, and I came here to learn more about other doctors, but also I want to create something for us as patients and, well, to use artificial intelligence that can maybe help other people.
Holy cow, that's really exciting. All right, so first, what part of Mexico are you from?
I'm from the center. The name of our state is Guanajuato.
Okay,
So
and for how long were you suffering from your illness before you were diagnosed with Lyme disease?
I think I started when I was on high school, like almost more than 10 years ago. And also my family got Lyme disease, so everything started because I had a lot of symptoms, but then 2 years ago, my dog was very sick, and I discovered that he had Ehrlichia, and that's why I became on this path.
Wow. Is there a great deal of Lyme awareness in Mexico, or is it largely a hidden disease in the other part of North America?
Yeah, it's hidden. Anyone talks about Lyme disease. Actually, there are like only 5 doctors that treat patients with Lyme, and yeah, there are no information.
So how did you ultimately get lucky enough to be diagnosed?
Well, actually, it was because of my dog, and
So the dog was diagnosed?
yeah. So actually, there are a lot of ticks in Mexico,
Yeah?
and a lot of dogs that live on the street, and they are always sick with Ehrlichia, Bartonella, and all those kind of diseases. And veterinarians are more like aware about this disease.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, when my dog passed away, my dad told me, "Oh, maybe you should be tested as well." We have a famous singer. Her name is Thalia, and she was treated by Dr. Horowitz. So that's also how I knew about Lyme disease, and because my dad told me that I should be tested, that I started this.
So were you treated by a doctor before you were tested, or did you get yourself tested before treating with a doctor?
No, I was not treated by anyone, but I was suffering a lot during several years.
So what test did you use to determine what tick illnesses you had?
I did IGNX.
IGNX, okay. The famous test, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you treat with a doctor after you received the positive diagnosis from IGNX?
Yeah, exactly.
And who'd you treat with?
His name is Dr. Garay,
Okay.
and he's from Guadalajara,
And is that in close proximity to where you live?
like 3 hours far from where I live.
Okay, so we're going to have that doctor on the podcast at some point. So let your doctor know we would love to interview him. Does he speak English?
Yeah.
All right, so at some point maybe we can have him on the podcast as well. We have interviewed some doctors from Mexico, but we had not heard of your doctor, so it would be wonderful if we could profile him, because we do have a fair number of followers in Mexico, which always is surprising to me because we're an English podcast, but we have many followers in many foreign countries. So it's really exciting to know that the internet has that kind of reach. So how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I think that I've learned a lot, and I've exchanged a lot of information with several doctors, so it has been awesome.
So now let's build out the work that you're doing. You said that you're a digital professional. So talk to us about the work that you're doing and how you want to serve the Lyme community with your vast skills.
Thank you so much. Sure. So basically, I work for a tech company, and that's where I learn how to develop applications and websites, etc., based on AI, artificial intelligence. And we always work for clients here in America and in other parts of the world. So I decided to create something for us as patients. What I discovered was that I was having triggers while taking and stopping some medications. So I started writing down all my symptoms, and I also have a TikTok channel,
Okay.
where I speak about my journey, and that's how I've met a lot of people from Mexico and Latin America. And I discovered that we all had different symptoms. Sometimes we had similar symptoms. And basically what I want to build, and it's an application where we can keep track of our symptoms and then feed the algorithm. And one day after everything is fed, we can learn more about what triggers some things, like maybe antibiotics, which symptoms, etc.
So when you're describing triggers, because most people we talk to in the tick boot camp community, when they use the word trigger, they generally mean that they're having an emotional response to some event. Is that how you're defining trigger, or are you defining trigger as something happens and now you have some physiological response?
Yeah, I'm talking about the second.
Number
thing.
two.
Yeah,
Okay.
number two.
So let's build that out a little bit. So you're building an app, and the app is going to have AI in the background, and we'll get into that in a minute. And so the purpose of the app is for patients to share what has triggered a response of some sort.
Yeah.
And then the goal is to crowdsource that and have a lot of patients put a lot of experiences into the app, and then you'll convert those experiences into steps that people can take to determine what is going on when they have a particular symptom.
Yeah, maybe that data can be used by doctors, understanding like what caused some symptoms. And yeah, actually is that. And also what I would love to help the community with in the future is not only covering like or having our symptoms inside as Lyme disease patients, because this can also help other diseases. You know, like having a daily tracking of our symptoms can at the end maybe take a survey once you enter the app and you add your symptoms, and because the algorithm is already fed, you can have you probably have Lyme disease, you probably have fibromyalgia or something, get tested. But that's the next step.
Okay, yeah. So let's talk about the AI. What is the AI element, and how is AI going to help you in your efforts to get to the outcome you're seeking to get to?
Okay.
And let's just say with Lyme, not with all these other diseases, because it seems like you have a huge ambition and huge goal. So let's say focus narrowly on Lyme and how the crowdsourced app will get you to the outcome, and what role is AI playing in that process?
Sure. So basically, as patients, there are a lot of patients in Mexico and in America and across the world. So basically, the objective is that all the people start sharing their symptoms daily, and also include the medications or the treatments that they are following, or the things, maybe sauna or other therapies. And after a while, the algorithm, when I mention algorithm, that means that the code behind is going to learn about all the things that are being...
It will identify patterns.
Exactly.
Okay. So if you're able to get a large cross-section of the Lyme disease population to essentially all day, every day, put in all their symptoms, right, and all their medications, and how they're responding to their medications, and how they're responding to food and movement and everything else that's going on in their lives, if you have enough people participate in that, what will happen is the algorithm or the AI will now identify patterns, and those patterns can then turn into recommendations for future patients.
It could be recommendations, it could be data for
Researchers?
doctors, yeah, for researchers. Yeah, it could be like the main purpose is to have data that can help to maybe opening new research, I don't know, like
so you,
studies, etc.
You want to capture data, and you want to do it on a regular basis.
Exactly.
I think it's brilliant. So where are you with developing this app?
I'm right now researching. As a designer of these type of things, I need to research and understand the needs. So it's not just creating an app just for creating it.
Right.
We need to understand the needs, if patients will use it, if doctors will use the data. So right now I'm on the first phase, that it's interviewing and researching, discovering. Once I get enough information, I will start with the design, validating the design, and once it's done, I'm going to start building it.
Okay. That's very exciting. So I'm glad we were able to meet while you're at the very early stages of this process.
Yeah, exactly.
Please keep us posted and let us know if there's anything we can do to help you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.